Hi, today we will see vector addition. Now, unlike scalars which are added algebraically, vectors have certain rules to follow while adding them. Now, there are two major rules: the triangle law of vector addition, and the parallelogram law of vector addition, parallelogram law of vector addition. Now let us first see the triangle law. Now, triangle law, we have two vectors, vector AB, A, B, and we have one more vector which starts at the end point of the first vector. Now, vector AB, the start point is A, the end point is B. So, the second vector will be BC. It starts at B, which is the end point of A, and ends at C. Now, vector AB plus BC, we start from here, AB plus BC. So, our initial point is A, our final point is C, right? So, the sum of AB bar and BC bar is AC bar. That is the triangle law of vector addition. So, triangle law of vector addition, it simply says that you arrange the vectors such that the end point of one marks the start point of the second vector. And now when you add them, you get AC bar is equal to AB bar plus BC bar. Right? I repeat, the vectors are so arranged that the second vector begins from the end point of the first vector. Right? And then, so when there are two vectors AB bar and BC bar, so BC begins from the end point of B. So, AB bar, we start from A, the initial point, and we reach till C. Now, you join the initial point and the final point, you get the resultant vector. So, the resultant vector is obtained by joining the initial point. I will say this is the initial point. A is the initial point, and C is the final point. So, I join the initial point and final point, and I obtain the resultant vector. So, what are our key takeaways here? Our key takeaways, the key points to remember. The key points to remember are what? That vectors are so arranged that the start point of the second vector is the end point of the first vector. The end point of the first vector. As the first point. And the second key point we have to remember is that the resultant or the sum is obtained by joining the initial point to the final point, initial point to the final point. In this problem, the initial point was A and the final point was C. So that's a triangle law of vector addition. Now an extension of this law is the triangle law is the polygon law of vector addition. It's quite similar to the triangle law. In polygon law of vector addition, we have more than two vectors, correct? And as in the case of with the triangle law, the vectors are arranged in a way that the end point of the first vector is AB, end point of first vector, which is B, is the start point of the second vector, BC. End point of third vector, which is end point of second vector, which is C, is the start point of third vector, D. End point of third vector is the start point of fourth vector, DE. And end point of fourth vector, which is E, is the start point of the fifth vector, F. So now we want to obtain the vector sum of all these AB bar plus BC bar plus CD bar plus DE bar plus EF bar. Now we want to obtain the sum of all these vectors. So we start from A. Our initial point is A. And the final point after all the vectors have been arranged. F is the final point. Now it's quite similar to triangle law. So the resultant is obtained by joining the initial point and the final point, joining A and F. So we join A and F. We get vector AF bar. So AB bar plus BC bar plus CD bar plus DE bar plus CF bar is equal to vector AF bar. This is the polygon law of vector addition, and again it's quite similar to triangle law, only that in triangle law we are adding only two vectors. Here we can add as many vectors as we want, only that we have to arrange the vectors suitably so that the end point of first vector marks the start point of second vector, end point of second vector marks the start point of third vector, end point of third vector marks the start point of fourth vector, and end point of fourth vector marks the start point of fifth vector. And we join the initial and final points. We obtain the resultant vector. Now we see this arrangement of vectors. In this illustration, we see that AB bar, start point A, end point B, is the first vector. Now the second vector does not begin from B, it begins from A, which means the two vectors have a common start point. Alright, they have a common start point. Let me write it down. They have a common start point. Now this is in contrast with the triangle law of vector addition. In triangle law of vector addition, the vectors are arranged so that the end point of the first vector is the start point of the second vector. But here both the vectors have the same common start point. In this case, the start point is A. So AB bar plus AC bar is what? Let us see. AB bar plus AC bar. What is it? Let us see. Now to obtain the resultant vector, we first complete the parallelogram. So let's complete the parallelogram. We draw a line parallel to AB and one parallel to AC, and we mark this point D. So now we have completed the parallelogram. Our start point is A and the diagonally opposite point is D. We join the 2 points. Now when we join the 2 points, we get AD bar, which is the resultant of AB bar and AC bar. So I repeat, we complete the parallelogram and then we obtain point D. Now we join the start point with the diagonally opposite point of the parallelogram to obtain the resultant vector. So this is parallelogram law of vector addition. Now what are the key points here? Point number 1, both vectors have a common start point. You arrange the vectors such that all of them have the same start point. That's the first point to remember. So if you have two vectors, both of which begin from the same start point, then we use the parallelogram law of vector addition. Point number 2. How do you obtain the resultant vector? Now the resultant is obtained by, we complete the parallelogram. Complete the parallelogram and then parallelogram. And then we join the start point with the diagonally opposite point. We join start point, with the diagonally opposite point, with the diagonally opposite point. Right? In this case, our start point is A. We join A and D in the sketch above, in the illustration above. Okay, with this we end this video. In the next video, we shall see applications of this in solving numerical problems. Right? Thank you and best wishes. And see you at the next video.